Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Griffin here, and as always, I hope you're having a great day. So I released this video a couple of weeks back speaking about the 7th property that I have purchased in and out of my portfolio, which obviously is a super exciting moment for me, and I make these videos in order for anyone who's interested to follow along the journey and learn as much as possible, ask any questions, and basically just learn about real estate investing. Now, to my surprise, that video did actually end up getting a few negative comments, specifically about the housing crisis and how really I'm a part of the problem. But I think there's generally a misunderstanding around how real estate investing really works and the relationship between tenants and landlords that I wanted to make clear in today's video. And by the way, I never make videos like this because I try to just rise above and really just continue focusing on content about personal finance and investing, but this is something that I really think needs to be understood and said. So just for the record, I don't currently own 7 rental properties. This is the 7th rental property that I have purchased, right? Some I have sold, then offloaded others in order to roll those proceeds into new deals in order to restart the process. Stating that I'm bragging though about this rental property portfolio, this seriously just couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, this isn't bragging because literally anyone can replicate exactly what I've done. I haven't reinvented the wheel, and this isn't rocket science. When it comes to real estate investing, this is really a blueprint that you can learn and then apply to your own situation, tweaking here and there to, tailor to your own market and your own personal and financial situation. But I think a lot of people also forget that I literally started from nothing a couple of years ago, right? I had a regular day job that was fine, but I took most of all my savings at the time and invested them into my first rental property deal, which is a duplex. And so that was really something that I just had to be entrepreneurial about. And I was so obsessed with growing my wealth and getting into a better financial situation that I was ready to take action and just learn and apply what I had been learning. Being an entrepreneur is about creating value in the market, period. And a capitalist economy continues moving forward from entrepreneurs building products and services and creating value in the market, right? And real estate is a form of value. In fact, what I even think differentiates me quite a bit from other content creators on YouTube that focus on real estate investing and so forth is the fact that I actually go out and purchase property and document the entire journey. If you go back a couple of years on my channel, you can see the exact first property that I purchased and my entire progression over the years, sharing absolutely everything about the numbers, the deal breakdown, and all of the knowledge that I've learned along the way so that all of you can just skip all the mistakes I've made and just apply this to your own situation. This right here is a thumbnail of the first video I made about real estate investing over 3 years ago. Now, at the time, I still had a day job and I put a large chunk of the savings that I had on the line to purchase this first deal. And I really just put my own finances on the line and documented everything. That to me is real personal finance and content about actual real investing. Bottom line, this is the internet, and of course I can't please everyone. And so over the past couple of years, like every other creator, anyone who's ever posted anything on the internet, there has been some backlash depending on the type of content that I've made. But the way I see this is that if you're not even interested in real estate investing or investing in the first place, then why would you be consuming content about real estate investing, stock market, personal finance, and so forth? I just don't get it. Seriously, like content that I don't resonate with, I just turn it off and move on to the next thing. Okay, let's now talk about the idea of commoditizing property and real estate as a whole. Straight off the bat, I'm not purchasing single family homes, condos, or any other property really that would be purchased by and owned by a homeowner and someone looking to say raise a family. I'm purchasing multi-family properties that have always and will always be rental properties owned by investors. So in this light, I'm not pricing out that new couple or first-time homebuyer that's looking for the perfect bungalow in the suburbs in order to raise their family. That's just not the case, and I'm not ever going to actually benefit from these properties personally in terms of the living space. And that there really is the basis of the housing crisis in the first place, of first-time homebuyers and especially millennials, people who are under the age of 35 that really just want to get their foot in the door in regards to real estate investing. Of course, that's not what I am advocating for. I'm looking to actually empower people through my YouTube channel and motivate them to take action, learn the steps necessary, and actually strive to create wealth through real estate. That has always been the narrative and point of my real estate content on my channel, while also documenting everything else in between. In addition to this, I only buy property that makes sense for the numbers and targets that I'm trying to hit for return on investment. So this literally means that only like 0.01% of all the deals that I look at actually end up fitting within this criteria. So what I'm getting at here is that I don't speculate and bid up property values just for the sake of it because I'm trying to purchase any property under the sun, right? As we were seeing a couple of months back with houses going for hundreds of thousands of dollars more than what they were listed for. We'll also be getting into the main issues at hand that led us to this housing crisis in the first place later on in the video. But first, let's speak about how I'm also just gentrifying these properties in the first place, right? I am only buying property now, that I can actually gentrify and have a higher value in the market, not just from a dollar standpoint, but also just from a living condition standpoint, where a lot of the properties I have purchased, seriously, if you've never walked rental properties, most of these properties you would never even look at or touch with a 10-foot pole, right? Because they haven't been renovated, updated, or maintained in literally 20, 30 years. And so in this light, as an entrepreneur here, I'm looking to purchase these properties and bring them back up to a quality of living, adding value to a business or an asset. Now here's another point. Most people are actually completely unaware of this, but especially in periods of a crisis like right now, most cities actually want and encourage this type of behavior of actually gentrifying and adding units to existing buildings, but then also creating new properties that are able to be rented out or sold to families and other just tenants that are in need. Cities and governments actually want entrepreneurs to build more property and more units, increase the value of current units, increase the number of units, and lower overall vacancy. This in turn increases municipal taxes, school taxes, and just gentrifies the community. It also increases the amount of units in the city, all of which is positive and beneficial to the city as well as the local economy. In fact, here's a stat from the CMHC here in Canada telling us that the vacancy rate in my area of investment is 1.1% and 2% lower than in the national average for markets with over 100,000 residents. That means for every 100 properties that is currently available in the entire local economy, only 1% of which is actually vacant. So just saying that I'm in this for selfish reasons and that all real estate investors as a whole are to blame for pricing out an entire generation out of the market factually makes no sense. And again, in regards to this channel documenting my financial journey and also sharing all of the other knowledge that I have about investing for everyone to watch literally for free, let's remember that I quit my comfy unionized job at the government that had an entire full pension because I just didn't feel like I was contributing enough to society. And so in this light, why shouldn't individuals who are risking their capital, their time, as well as all of their energy into creating value to the market be rewarded for doing so? If you do want to learn more about real estate investing though, well, you're in luck because I have an entire playlist here on my YouTube channel about real estate investing that you can watch entirely for free, going over everything from the strategies I've used, how to save and invest towards your first properties, breaking down all of my deals, and a whole bunch of other really relevant information. The way real estate is valued in the market is highly linked to supply and demand. This is the exact reason as to why property values have skyrocketed so much over the past couple of years. Very high demand in the face of low interest rates and extremely low inventory. This is nothing new if you watch my content. In Canada specifically, we have an even larger underlying challenge. Birth rate from Canadians is crazy low, and so in order to continue growing our population as well as our GDP, we rely on immigration, and a heck of a lot of immigration at that. In 2021 alone, over 400,000 immigrants came to Canada, which is more than 1% of the entire population. And hey, most of these people start off renting, not owning a home anyways, all the more need for increased rental units. In fact, in 2021 alone, there were over 240,000 new properties built across Canada, of which only 78,000 were rentals, where there's a huge need anyways, but 141,000 were multi-residential. And between March 2020, when the entire economy tanked and the Bank of Canada as well as the American Federal Reserve slashed down interest rates to zero, in March 2022, there have been roughly 1,312,474 property transactions across Canada, the large majority of which, by the way, are single-family homes, townhomes, condos, and semi-detached homes. Actual houses, not rental properties. But even still, the federal government just released in their budget a plan to double the number of housings built through to 2030. This is exactly what I'm contributing to, increasing rental properties and units in my city. The bottom line is that real estate investors and entrepreneurs are needed, and ultimately the reason property has increased so much is the same reason the stock market increased in value as well. But real estate is still victim to low inventory and usually follows an offset market cycle in parallel to the stock market. So if you do see price volatility in the coming months with with interest rates increasing and potentially more inventory coming onto the market, then yeah, we might very well see prices starting to drop. And at that time, if this does end up materializing, anyone who's been watching my videos and sitting on the sidelines, make sure to take action. At the end of the day, like everyone else, I also used to be a renter, but at a certain point I decided that I wanted to purchase a property and get out of the race to the bottom when you're a continuous renter for years upon years. But at that time, I used to scrape by living in my first apartment with my girlfriend. We would literally eat ramen noodle while I was trying to really just make something for ourselves. I've always had a passion for videography, personal finance, and investing, and happen to know quite a bit about these topics. So as Gary Vee said in his book, Crushing It, I decided to actually document my journey and also share as much knowledge as I could along the way in terms of personal finance, stock market investing, and real estate investing. So over the years, there have also been a tremendous amount of people that have reached out to me on Instagram, down in the comments, grateful for these videos because they've actually motivated them to take action in their own personal finances. And that is ultimately why I do this in the first place. So I know this was not my typical type of video, but hopefully after hearing me out, some of the points that I made resonated with you. If they did, make sure to drop a like on this video. It really helps the channel out. Now, if you want to learn more about specifically stock market investing, real estate investing, I actually have some amazing programs that you can check out down below in the description, some of which are free, some are paid for, but ultimately I created these programs with the goal of actually diving into detail on these topics, which isn't really something that you can do on YouTube because there's just way too much information to actually be condensed into shorter form videos here on YouTube. So if that's of interest to you, check them out down below. If you also want to learn more about real estate investing, stock market, and so forth in future videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button to be notified of new and upcoming content. And with that said, thanks a lot for staying around, and I'll see you in the next one.